Alrighty, good morning. This is Steve Weber, the host of the American Gumption Morning Show, here being broadcast to you on Spirituality Gone Wild and also on Facebook and YouTube. So welcome to Tuesday, September 8th, and the day after the Labor Day weekend. How's everybody feeling after the 3-day holiday weekend? Back to work. Get back to a new routine here with fall. Definitely fall, starting to feel like fall here in the East. The temperatures are nice and cool in the morning, which is great. The summer heat of July and August has subsided, and it always amazed me how the Labor Day weekend was almost like a switch where the weather changed. So that's the cycle of the seasons. Alrighty, so we have a good show today. I have a guest, Dr. Betty Uribe, and she is the author of a book, Values: The Secret to Top-Level Performance in Business and Life. And I had a great conversation with Dr. Betty a couple of days ago, and what a fascinating woman. So looking forward to speaking with her and learning and sharing her story, and she's had quite the career. So we'll get into that. My monologue is going to be elements of a relationship, and I initially thought I was going to do it on values, but it's relationship. It's a little broader than just values. It's elements of a relationship. So I'll tell that story about a blog post I wrote 10 years ago. All righty. And then let's just set up what's going to happen the next couple of days, and maybe even a sneak peek in the next week. So tomorrow is the We Empower You virtual summit, and I will be one of the breakout speakers for that. That goes from 8:30 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. That's a 12-hour marathon, and that's the West Coast time. So it's actually 11:30 to 11:30 on the East Coast, and figure out any other times, other places. But anyway, Bettina Carey was our guest on the show last Friday, and we dug deep into that. And so we're gonna I'm gonna preview that a little bit. I may have a guest, I may not have a guest. If I don't have a guest, it'll probably be a shorter show. But hey, we're still figuring out this schedule and routine, and so anyway, we're going to make a go of it. But I'll do a preview for that. Minimally, I'll do a preview for the We Empower You Summit, and in the comments I posted a link. There are a limited number of free tickets available for this. Normally it's $17, not a huge amount, but there have been free tickets made available. So there's a link in the notes, and those are wherever you're seeing me broadcast this right now, though that should be in the comment. Or if you don't, send me an email, steve@americangumption.com, and I'll send you the link. But anyway, there's a free tickets that are available, limited number. I don't know how many and how long they'll last. So go ahead and grab those. The great thing about the We Empower You Summit is that it's going to be an all-day event, but they have an app, and so you don't have to be there all day. You can kind of check in and check out. You can line up when your favorite speakers are. You'll see the whole lineup. And Bettina Carey again and her team have done a great job of organizing this, and they were ahead of the curve in terms of doing virtual events. And so this is the second one they did. They did the first one back in June. That was a huge success. And so now this one coming up tomorrow. So definitely look in the comments, either on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this, and go ahead and click the link, and you should go to a page that gives you an opportunity to get a free ticket for tomorrow. So that's we'll be discussing that a bit and kind of teasing that and previewing it. And I will mention that Dr. Betty is one of the speakers. And so her and I probably won't get too much into the summit tomorrow, but we, because she has so much to talk about otherwise. But anyway, wanted to just make that connection too. All righty. On Thursday, Sue Phillips, a fragrance and scent expert, is going to be our guest. That's going to be fun. Scent, the smell, the nose is one of the, underutilized. We all know it, but nobody talks about scent. And so Sue is one of the world's experts on scent, and she's going to talk about how her career evolved around that and what she's done enhance people's awareness of scent. So she will be coming up on Thursday. Do not have a guest scheduled for Friday at this point. Still working on that. And then next week, I have one definite interview, but I have 3 tentative, which I expect the other 2 to fall into place. So I'll have at least 3, and maybe we'll fill it out with 4 or 5 even before the week's over. That's my goal, is to get to the point where I have I have the guests lined up a week or 2 in advance. And, the only scrambling that has to get done is if someone has to change their schedule and not be available and then fill that role. So anyway, this is week, what is this, week 5 or 6? I'm already losing track. I think this must be week 6 of broadcasting. So we're getting better at that. We're filling it in. All righty. So let's just jump into today's monologue. And I'm going to share a screen here. Oops. This screen is Dr. Betty's book, Values: The Secret to Top Level Performance in Business and Life. I will show that. We'll share that definitely in a little bit here with you. All right. So here's the monologue portion I wanted to do. The most important elements of a relationship. This was a chart that I made up 10 years ago, and I actually went back and had a blog post written on speakinggump.com. You could go there and find the blog post, and the blog post was elements of a relationship. So at any rate, when Betty was coming on, and her book is called Values, and I was thinking about core values, and I thought of that post, and then I realized that it wasn't just core values. This was the chart I was thinking of, but I couldn't quite remember what it was. Hey, it was 10 years ago. And what's funny about this now is the most important elements of a relationship. So right smack in the middle, I put relatedness, compatibility, and communication. If people can't relate, and this could be a relationship between a couple. It could be a relationship just, with friends. But anyway, if 2 people can't relate to each other and they don't have some type of basic compatibility and they don't know how to communicate with each other, well, then a relationship won't work. And that is why I put that right smack in the middle of this chart. And this was at the time, back in 2010, I had just really spent the year 2009 where I was in personal development work, landmark education, and I went to probably 4 or 5 different weekend seminars of theirs during the 2009 timeframe. And so 2010, I was really trying to piece this all together still and figure out everything that I had learned that previous year. So I remember specifically making this up. Now, what's also funny about this is the elements of a relationship. I was like planning ahead, thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to actually have a successful relationship. So I was thinking of it as more of an intimate relationship. And it wasn't though until 2013 that I finally went back and did a review of the Landmark Forum. And I had the aha moment that I realized why all of the relationships that I had failed, intimate relationships, that is. And so that's a separate story. I'm not going to get into that now. It's not a secret, but it's one of those things I'll just save for another day. So I had prepared this in 2010 at a time, before I had really cracked the code in terms of what was going on. But all of the pieces are kind of neat. So again, in the middle, people have to be related. They have to be able to relate to each other. They have to be able to, whoops, I'm getting a message here. Oh my gosh. And I forgot one important thing. Yes, I'm going to take, yes. Oh my gosh. So here we go. I gotta do a quick about face, and I need to invite somebody on who is joining us. Let's see here. All right. This is a faux pas on my part. let's see. You're going to have to just excuse me. I have a guest. I have a short little guest starting today, and I completely blew it. So let's go ahead and get him in here. Brandon Schaefer coming up. This is kind of embarrassing, but bear with me, folks. All right. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, I have a new feature that is coming up on Tuesday mornings, and I completely, with the holiday weekend, spaced out on it. So and I don't have it 100% ready to go. Over the, let's see. Let me come back to here. Let me re-explain what happened. So over the weekend, I invited Brandon Schaefer, who was a guest on show number 6, to come and join me on a regular basis. And he was going to come every Tuesday at the beginning of the show. And then I ended up blowing it by not being ready to go. And so anyway, I'm scrambling around. We're going to get him in here, and he's going to do a little rant. And I have a theme, an opening theme, but it's not uploaded to StreamYard, so we're going to end up bypassing that this week. And but I went and did all this work over the weekend in preparing for it. And so every Tuesday morning, we're going to have Brandon join us, and he's going to do a little bit of a short little monologue. Now, for those of you who don't know Brandon is a friend, somebody I met through LinkedIn. He's a LinkedIn influencer. He's a guy who has been posting videos on LinkedIn for the last 7 or 8 years, and I got to know him just by watching his videos. Now, I'm living out in Montana at the time, and he's living here, and so anyway, sure enough, I ended up moving back to Pennsylvania. I've been here for almost a year now, and Brandon and I got together in January, and then he came onto my show number 6. The first guest that I had, who wasn't a host of Spirituality Gone Wild. We had technical challenges that day, and Brandon had to take over my show temporarily. But anyway, I said to Brandon, hey, why don't you come in and do a rant and just talk about whatever makes you feel happy with it. So I hope I've sent that link to him now, and I'm thinking that we're going to see him show up anytime here. Let's see, one more. Let me do one more thing here. All right. Sending it again. And I expect he'll be in here any moment to do his little morning thing. So this is live. This is live, morning show stuff. And, I've got this like little printout that I do, and I got to get better, at having this like so that the Tuesday schedule automatically has Brandon. And I completely, but this is part of what Brandon does is he automates technology, and he helps people get organized in his business. And so, we will just go ahead and let him join us in a minute here and do that, and then I'll finish up that monologue. Let's see if I have a banner made up for Brandon. I'm not sure, so let me go ahead and create one real quick so we can add it in here. Here he is. All right. So Brandon is now in the studio. And again, I explained to everybody what was going on. So we'll just bring him on live and welcome him to the show.
Stevie.
Hey, Brandon.
What's going on, man? Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Good. So I need some help with my automation in getting things lined up so that I don't forget things and I can send out these messages and these links, because we spoke on Friday night, and then on Saturday I spent like all Saturday morning, getting your opening theme and your closing theme, had it all done, had it all ready to go, but never uploaded it to the StreamYard. And then, then the holiday threw me off, and then I just wasn't thinking that so I apologized to the audience already, because I had to kind of stop the show and go, oh my gosh, Brandon, is tagging me. So anyway, here's the way this is going to work. Normally, we're going to play a theme. I don't have the theme ready because, I have it ready. You've seen it. It's a great theme, but we'll do it next week. And but the idea is you're going to come on board. You're going to be a regular part of the American Gumption Morning Show, and you're just going to do a little bit of a rant about whatever topic you want. And I've been watching you do your videos for the last 5-6 years, and I know you've been doing them even longer than that. But basically, you show up every day on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and you do some kind of a live or short pre-recorded message, and now you're going to do that once a week for us. So is this what we agreed to?
100%, sir. 100%. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I had on my schedule that we were going to do it today, so it's all good. And then I always look for the link, because the thing with StreamYard is you're not able to send the link out until you actually start the meeting. So it's like a last minute kind of like, here, okay, all the wires are plugged in, my battery cable's plugged in to the computer, my mic's on, my camera's on, my light's on. Oh shoot, now I need to, now there's one additional thing that needs to be done. So but with time, it all comes together. I'm in the same boat you are. It's a kid's first day of school today, so they're trying to get onto the Wi-Fi, and there's been issues, and it's been a long day. But do you want me to kind of just go off right now, Steve?
Yeah, let's we'll just let you have the screen and just do what you did, like what you do regularly. You wake up in the morning and you get some kind of an inspiration, you get some kind of an idea, and just let it rip, man. Tell us what you got this morning.
All right, cool, Stevie. I'm Brandon Schaefer, and today what I'm thinking about are two things. When I wake up, I have a small piece of paper and I just write down one sentence. And what I thought about today was commitment and discipline to get to where you want to go, right? The commitment, it's easy to say yes. It's easy to say, oh, I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It's easy to say that, hey, I'm going to make 25 calls today. It's easy to say, I'm going to reach out to a friend that hasn't been in contact with you in a while, just to say hello, or a customer, or a prospect. But what drives the commitment is the discipline, right? You have to be disciplined. The disciplined person will get places in life. The disciplined person will get places in business. Commit and use discipline as the fuel to drive you to where you want to go. And if you find that you're struggling, you find that you need help, reach out to a peer group, reach out to Steve, reach out to somebody that may be able to provide you that little bit of inspiration, that little bit of motivation to give you that much needed spark. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much, Steve.
Brandon, thanks. Don't run off right yet. We're going to do this every week. We're going to do it at the top of the hour on Tuesday. I'll do like just a quick little introduction, and then we'll let you bop in and we'll let you bop out. We have a theme song that we picked out, and we put together a snappy little video that goes with it. And then we have an exit thing. So it's going to be like a fun, 2-3 minute little addition to the American Gumption Morning Show. And I know sometimes, you're a business guy, you're out there traveling. So sometimes we won't be able to do it, but we're just going to aim for Tuesday mornings, and maybe we'll move it up a day or back a day sometimes, or maybe we'll just won't do it that week. But anyway, I'm really glad and excited that you are willing to be part of the American Gumption Morning Show team. So thank you very much.
100%. See, commitment, discipline, challenge yourself, man. What are you going to do today? Let's go.
And hey, simplebusinesshelp.com. That's your business. Give everybody a 1-minute version of who you are and what you do.
Project management, business consulting. Everything is dead simple. We put the simple in complex. And if that's what you're interested in, you're tired of getting, oh, that's going to be too tough. Oh, this is going to take this. You're tired of scope creep. You're tired of paying too much and getting too little. Then you'll reach out. It's that simple. It's that simple. Simple. We put the simple in simple.
Very good. And your segment will be called Simple Motivation, if I had the right theme song in place to do it. But we're going to have it for next week. That's for sure.
No worries, man. You did a great job with all that, Steve. I'm looking forward to next week already. I'll talk to you in a day or two.
Okay. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, man.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Thumbs up. Go get it.
All right, so that's Brandon, and he's going to bring a nice bit of energy to the show each week. And I'm just grateful that he said, hey, I'd like to do that. And then, as I said, I got everything all organized ahead of time, and I was all set to go. But I didn't, I didn't execute the follow-up. I had everything prepared, and then I just a little bit more to do in terms of making it all happen and automate, so that, Brandon gets his link and I have it on my show notes and ready to go. And no excuse other than life's like a box of chocolates and you never know what you're going to get. All righty. So, well, with that, let's get back into this monologue I was doing. And it basically was talking about elements of a relationship and the fact that, it all starts with people being, compatible and being able to communicate and talk to each other and somehow relate and connect to each other. In the quantum world, people say, hey, I just sync with that person. We're on the same wavelength. And so that's where it all starts, in the middle. And then over on the left, which or to the left, as you look at the screen, you see core values, and I have spirituality, finances, family, friends, fitness, and health. Those are the four things, the four F's. Spirituality could be faith. Those are the four things that really, if you don't have those core values somehow in alignment, if you're not in agreement on how those things work, that's where relationships break down all the time. And so if you talk about fitness and health and diet, if someone's energetic and likes to eat well and keep themselves in good shape, and the other person's, doesn't have that same ambition, you're just not going to have the same kind of, taking care of yourself, and you're just not going to have that same. And same with family and friends. If you don't have the same kind of emphasis or value on what that means, then it doesn't differ. Finances is the number one reason I think that people, typically, divorce, or certainly it's if it's not number one, it's right in there. And then spirituality, faith, what is the foundation of what you believe? And then up at the top is really the virtues: honesty, inspiration, trust, respect, admiration. And down at the bottom, I have complementary personality styles and complementary strengths and weaknesses. It always seems to me that couples, if they get along, they complement each other. And again, in that personality styles, one might be, I might be a little more excitable, and the other one might be a little, calmer and see each other out. I've seen that many times. And sometimes you see couples who, they're both like, type A super driver personalities, and you wonder how they work it out, and somehow they manage to do it, and then sometimes they don't. Those relationships don't survive very well. And of course, strengths and weaknesses. There's certain things I like to do, and there's certain things that I'm just not that good at. And it's not like, you want one person to take care of certain things for you, but it sure is nice when if you have friends or a relationship where, and so one person's strengths compensate for the other person who isn't as strong in that particular area. Now, over on the right side, up and corner, I have attraction. Obviously, people have to be attracted to each other, and that's that instantaneous kind of thing that just happens. You go to work, you start a new job, and you just somehow you get connected with somebody. There's an attraction to someone else and you become friends almost instantly. And then there's other people who, for whatever reason, you never get that close to. And obviously intimacy is saved for only special relationships. And then in the lower right-hand corner, I have common interest and independent interest. People need to have their own identity, but they also have to have a co-identity. They need to co-create with each other in the common, and then also need to be independent and maintain that. And of course, supportiveness connects all that. So, you encourage and you share. So anyway, that was just something I made up. It was actually in September of 2010 when I created this, and I wrote a blog post about it. And when I was surprised it was 10 years ago. This month I learned, saw that, and I thought, it surprised me that it was exactly 10 years ago. But it's held up pretty well. I might tweak or I might modify, or some of those ideas may have evolved a bit. I have a deeper understanding of what some of them mean than when I initially made that 10 years ago. But I think it's a pretty good, for me, it was a good chart. So, I think back, that was part of that Montana experience when, my days with Bubba Gump were just coming to an end. This was really September. This would have been probably 6 months before that whole thing came to an end. I was starting to write on a regular basis. I was trying to form my own, core beliefs and values. And William James or somebody said, I never know what I think until I read what I wrote. I never know what I think until I read what I wrote about it. And the idea at that time, I was doing a lot of writing. I was doing a lot of creating. And this was one of those first little mind maps that I made. I've since become addicted to mind mapping, and I love that visual, seeing how things connect to each other. So this was an early version of that. And I think it was done with just some kind of a Mac drawing tool. So there was no specialness to it other than drawing boxes and putting text labels inside of it. A lot of tools. Lucid Chart is the one I use today to do that. So anyway, that's my monologue for today. So let's hopefully we got something out of that. And I'm a little embarrassed or thrown off course because Brandon was. Brandon, we had it all worked out, and then I wasn't ready for him, and so I'm embarrassed by that. But we'll just have to learn to forgive myself. I'll forgive myself, and but I am excited that Brandon's going to be part of our Tuesday morning show, and the goal he talked about, he's just going to come in and he's going to hit it hard. So today he brings an energy that I like and admire, and so if you're not friends with or connected with Brandon Schaefer on LinkedIn, go ahead and look him up. And again, here's his business, simple business help website. So that's it. That's really the monologue. Let's change this to American Gumption. So one of the things I've over the last 2 weekends, I've been doing some thinking and organizing and trying to recalibrate where I need to go with this whole program. And by that, I mean, when I had designed American Gumption back in the spring and had a plan and a vision. But then when I started working on broadcasting regularly on Spirituality Gone Wild, suddenly, boom, everything changed. So I was doing 5 days a week, and I've been doing 5 days a week. And, it's creating a lot of content. How do you get that content? How do you break it up? How do you share it in the social media? And then new opportunities started showing up. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I didn't feel like I had the boxes sorted out. So I some like a new of categories and groups of things that I need to do. And what's funny is I ended up creating 8 basic categories and groups or boxes that I want to put things in. All right, so that's fine. So I start throwing ideas into it. And the same thing happened, but 4 or 5 months earlier when I had that original set of categories. And what I realized at that time, once I had identified them, is that there were certain things that were one time, like foundational, get set up, and then you don't have to worry about them. You can just, and then there are other things that are going to be ongoing and regular. And so an ongoing and regular is obviously the broadcasting of the show, the interviews, the interviewing, and the getting guests to come in. That's an ongoing, and now there's systems that have to be put in place for both of those. And so, for example, getting Brandon to join in, creating a welcoming theme, an opening theme, and a closing theme for his segment. Boom, get him in here, get him out, have him just stop by once a week. So that is like the one-time creation thing. And then having him show up regularly, that's like the ongoing part. And how do you make sure he gets the link in time, to find it and come on. Same thing with the interviews. People, you need to have information, the website of the person, their name spelled correctly, and all of the ways that you promote who they are and what they're doing. So you bring them in on board, and they'll show up, and that's it. And then my websites, the front-facing, public-facing, Quantum Gumption, Global Gumption, the different websites that I have that aren't really filled in yet, those are kind of one-time, get them up and organized. Now you want to go back and tweak them in, a few months, and you'll want to be adding content to them on a regular basis. But in terms of the initial, get them all set up and ready to go, that's really a one-time deal, and just go with it that way. So anyway, as I finally sorted myself out and took some time and spent with it, I feel like I got myself organized better and that whole thing. So that's really that's it. Now, I do not see our guest here yet. I was expecting Dr. Betty to be already checked in with us. I'm hoping she will show up any moment, and we'll just have to wait to give her another minute or two. If we don't find her, then I'm not sure what we're going to do. We might just end the show early. So that's really. Yeah, I'm not sure where Dr. Betty is. So today is, I guess it's that day after Labor Day. Everybody's getting used to, coming back in and figuring out how this is all going to work and back in the schedule. So you can hear I'm stammering and trying to scramble and jump around to make this thing work. So, Dr. Betty, where are you? I'm hoping you'll show up. Oh, now, one of the things that has to happen is as the show evolves and matures is I will have a show engineer. And that is a person who is in the studio with me. They won't have to physically be in the same room with me, but they'll be in the broadcast studio physically with me. And they will be the one who will help make sure that these banners down at the bottom get changed when Brandon shows up or when Dr. Betty shows up. Those get changed right away. And so that's all going to happen. That person will be added to the team and be part of the broadcast on a regular basis. And so all this stuff is happening. So these are the kind of things that I was thinking about this past weekend and going, okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. And once I write them down, once I go, okay, this is what's going to happen, then that's it. So, you can kind of not worry about it because not that you don't worry about it, but okay, it's written down. It's going to take care of itself, or I'm going to get to it. It's like organized. It fits in with the right category, and I know how to do it, and I'll get to it. So that's at least that's how my brain works in terms of keeping things tracked. If I have to try to remember it all inside my head, I go crazy. So anyway, I do not know where where Dr. Betty is. I'm gonna. Give me just a second to see if I can't figure out what may or may not have happened. I would have expected her to be here by now, but oh well, I just don't know what to say. So, well, this show didn't turn out the way I expected it to. That's kind of funny. Had a great show yesterday with Earl Pova, and we talked about We talked about the Lolita, the orca who has been in captivity for 50 years. Please go back and watch that show if you did not see it. And then coming up Thursday, we have Sue Phillips, our fragrance and scent expert. So that's going to be a fun show. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the We Empower You. I'm going to somehow tease that at the beginning of the show. And whether I have a guest or not, we'll still figure that out. As you can all see, folks, this is live broadcasting at its best. So my goal long-term would be that like these things are lined up ahead of time. There's some kind of an engineer working with me who's like, the person in that back who's making sure all the buttons get pushed at the right time and everything happens. And I'm just focused on, communicating, bringing the guest in and out. And I got one more idea to talk about here. So I would like to have our other Spirituality Gone Wild host come and join this show on a regular basis and just tease what it is that they're going to be doing. A lot like the segment Brandon just did, where he gets in, gets out, just tells what their segment is going to be. And we have TJ on Monday night, Stream of David on Wednesday night, Ray night, so she could join us on Friday, tease the show. So a lot of different guests throughout the week. Safe Bucksy on Thursday night. And I'm forgetting a couple, but wouldn't it be great if this show was kind of that variety show where they just kind of popped in and popped out, and I was just, like welcoming them, getting them to share a little bit about what they're doing. So like fast paced, a lot of things happening simultaneously, but you need to be organized to make that happen. And you can see I wasn't as organized as I needed to be this morning. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this show down just because I don't know what happened to Dr. Betty. I'm sure that something happened. Maybe we'll have her back tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe that's what's going to happen. And maybe it was all designed to be that way. But so anyway, everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday. I apologize for the confusion and for the disarray of this show, but hey, live broadcasts are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. All righty, folks. Well, have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Now, let's find the closing song. All right, there we are. All right, folks. Bye.